Developing a good instrument is a difficult task that's long and labour intensive, and it's dependent on a thorough and conceptual understanding of what you're trying to measure. You then have to write questions or statements that become items, and they're assumed to be indicators of the construct you're trying to measure. These items are then tried out on a sample of respondents. Poor items that are not working as intended are deleted, while others may need to be reworded and refined to better understand, to be better understood by the respondents and be a better indicator or be better indicators of the construct. This new set is then tried out on a new sample and so on until the process continues until one has the shortest and best possible set of items to measure that particular construct that they're measuring. Now, fortunately, researchers don't have to develop instruments themselves. Rather, they choose from existing measures that have been developed by others. Whether they develop a measure on their own or use an existing one, it's absolutely imperative that the measure is reliable and valid. Otherwise, it's going to be quite useless as a measure of the construct or the latent variable that you're looking at. Let's, for the sake of argument, say that I weigh 69 kilos and that I've just brought a brand new set of bathroom scales that were on the cheap at a $2 shop. And then when I step on them, I find out that I weigh 70 kilos. You'd probably be happy with that. Or I find out that I weigh 70 kilos, so I'd probably be happy with that. And because I'm excited, 5 minutes later I hop on again. And for some reason I'm measuring 85 kilos. And you think to yourself, hey, that can't be right. And then 5 minutes later, you jump on it again and it's measuring 61 kilos. This weighing machine would, if it was my weighing machine, it'd be going straight back to the shop. Why? Because it's been unreliable. My weight's not going to change that much in such a short space of time. So even if one of those measures are correct, the scales are not measuring my weight consistently. And so you take the scales back to the shop and you exchange them. But this time, you hop on the scales when you get home, you hop on and it says 8 kilos. Then you hop on them again and it says 8 kilos again. And then you hop on it again and it's saying 8 again. The scales are certainly reliable because what they're actually measuring, they're measuring consistently. But they're not valid, as they're not a measure of your weight for you. It turns out that there was a mistake at the factory when I take the scales back, and in actual fact they're measuring my foot size. So it's clear that these scales are a heap of junk for measuring weight. In the same way, when you take psychological tests, those tests must be reliable and valid. But this can be difficult to do.